Well, it needs no introduction. Sowore is a former presidential candidate, perhaps running again under the AAC, an activist. He wears many caps. Mr. Sowore, thank you for coming on the program. Good morning.
Good morning.
Let's begin with, I think if I saw a video online that I saw you in church. I don't know how many times I've seen you in church, so it was quite a different set altogether to see you. But it's an advocacy that took you there about this issue around Jabi Lake. I understand that the pastor of that church, I think Pastor Sarah, had actually added her voice to what the minister is planning to do, maybe take over the land for other purposes. But you've also added your voice to it in support of our advocacy. But for the people who don't live in Abuja, who don't even understand what this is all about, maybe let's start from there before we get to politics.
Well, I heard about the takeover of Jabi Lake Resort by the minister. He had gone there, petitioned the park, and I heard they had shared it amongst themselves. You know, they always use third parties in assigning and allocating land to themselves illegally. So when I saw that she was praying about it in her church, I saw the clip. I asked a friend of mine to contact her if we could come to the church and make a presentation about how to make that prayer a reality. That's what took me to church. Typically, I don't like going to church, especially during political seasons. I don't like the hypocrisy of politicians running to church just to deceive church members who don't actually see them after the political season is over. But this is an advocacy that was very dear to my heart as an environmentalist myself. And the fact that this FCT minister has completely ruined the master plan in Abuja by allocating public parks to his friends and cronies was the reason I went there. It's not for Jabi Lake alone. If you go into the city, we went around yesterday. A lot of these public parks has been taken over by the minister and converted to residential real estate developments that are at variance with, international best practices and also the Abuja master plan itself, heavily distorted by his actions.
Oh, interesting. We're going to keep following up on that. But let's talk politics. Let's talk a bit of politics. Let's stay with your party for a moment. What is going on with the AAC? We can see other political parties, doing national convention. Primaries is up for, I think, every party has from now to May the 30th to decide who is going to be their candidates across board. So what's the plan for the AAC? And I want to suppose perhaps you're running again, so you also maybe bring that clarification. Let's talk about your party for a moment. What's the plan?
Well, the AAC, the African National Congress, already had its convention November last year. So we have concluded our national convention. We are now going to primaries, and just like other parties, we will have our primaries towards the end of May. Every political party must have its primary, party primary by the end of May. So for states, I think we're going to have on the 21st, 22nd, and 23rd, and for national will be between 25th and 26th. Taking into consideration some of these religious calendars that are public holidays, and then there's also Children's Day coming up. So that will be done soon, but we have already submitted our membership register. An update will be submitted today because people were still registering, and there's still an update till today, May 10th. And the primaries for the party will then take place, will follow, yes.
Mr. Sowore, before I hand over to my colleagues, let's talk about the strategy. History has shown us, at least from 1999, which is the very recent history everybody can relate with, is really very challenging and difficult to unseat an incumbent. Not because it's not possible. It is very possible. We've seen an incumbent being unseated, but it had to come through a merger that formed the APC in 2013 up all the way to 2015. And then we've also seen towards this election, their coalition, even though that coalition is now depleted between the ADC and the NDC. If you want to be president, or the AAC intends to, within this dispensation, get the office of president of the Federal Republic, why are you not talking to other political parties to see how you can coalesce, to see what you can do as an opposition party or opposition parties, to see how you can form a front and face the ruling party?
Well, I think the last time I was here, or like last few times I was on your show, the conversation was about joining these coalitions. You always throw them at me. Why are you not in ADC? Why are you not in... And I told you then, and it has come to pass, that they are not coalitions. These are just interest groups and persons who are interested in power. The real coalition that needs to happen, even the 2015 coalition you are talking about, wasn't just the merger of these political parties that made it happen. It was that the Nigerian people were tired of the People's Democratic Party at that time and decided that they would ease them out of power. So the coalition that you mentioned at that time, the APC, merely rode on the back of public discontent. Public discontent has reached the highest level of decibel now. But what is different is that you can't deceive people with coalition anymore. So you're going to set up a coalition made up of the people who took Nigeria to where it is now, and you're talking to political parties whose only interest is to grab power. Nigerian people, I think, are wiser than that. What I've maintained on your show consistently is that there's a coalition to be made with the oppressed, the people who are cheated, the people who are disenfranchised, the people who are disenchanted with the system. And they are bigger than the political parties you call coalition. The latest coalition, which is the end, is not even a coalition. It's a political party that came into existence by way of a court order obtained from, I think, Kogi State. That's the NDC. It's actually not a coalition. It's owned by an individual, the former governor of Bayelsa State. So you can't call that a coalition. Our party, the African Action Congress, has been in existence in 2018. It's gone through some of the roughest patch of political existence. And we have maintained and consistently told you that the solution to our problem is not to be looking for coalitions of people who destroyed your past, who you now want to entrust with your future, but that we can form a coalition of the people of this country who are desirous of liberation, who want to have economic progress, who want to send their children to school, and who want to live in peace and security, both national, economic, and infrastructural security in this country. That is what we're about, not to find ourselves in coalitions that are happening today and by next tomorrow it has collapsed. Those are not coalitions. Those are just desperate groups of persons whose only intention and goal is to grab power. We are not interested in that. And we have stated this on your show repeatedly. And so many of the things I predicted here have come to pass. One of it is that these coalitions are not genuine, they are not organic. They're just disparate individuals, carpetbaggers and gerrymanders who are interested in your resources and how they can lay their hands on it next time around. And that the one in existence, you call is a coalition. Look at what it has done to Nigeria since 2015. That's the APC.
And so, Mr. Sowore, some would wonder if your Puritan approach to politics would work, really. I know that we've had this conversation time and again. Whether or not you disagree with, the value or lack of it that the party that adopted the quote-unquote coalition approach has delivered on its promises, it was able to secure power as a result of coming together in what is now the popular merger of 2013. So we have not actually seen strength in your party structure throughout the federation. That's on the one hand. And we wonder if you can translate the strength of your activism and social media following to victory at the polls, in case there are people watching and they're saying that, oh, we want to queue behind Sowore and see, okay, if he can actually deliver on the promised transformation that Nigeria is looking for. So what strategy do you have as an alternative if you do not believe in the idea of coalition?
Okay, I have spoken to the fact that the last time you had a coalition in this country that took over power in 2015 and had remained in power since then, where did it take you? Let's be honest about our real socio-political situation. And then I'm reaching out to Nigerians. I've always reached out to Nigerians that the choice is yours. Either to choose a coalition of these very big political kahunas or your own coalition that will take you to prosperity, peace, and security and give you progress and peace of mind. That is a choice that people can make. You and I know that these coalitions don't mean anything. It is their own way of bamboozling you. It's their own way of browbeating you to say, well, you know, we formed a coalition and we want to take over power from the other side. But to what extent is the coalition going to deliver on education? To what extent are they going to give you roads, provide security for you, make sure that you have hospitals, you can take water from your tap and drink it, that if you take a trip from your house to the next village, you will make it, either on the road or in the hands of the people these coalitions have thrown up who are killing and destroying you? That's the question we should be asking ourselves. Nobody, in all honesty, should keep talking about structures. Sometimes have been described as structures of criminality, delivering you because they have expressed themselves in a coalition. But let's be honest. Were we not talking here about coalition the last time I was here, where you were bombarding with the question, when are you going to join the ADC? Why didn't you join the ADC? Why are you no longer talking about the ADC anymore? You are now talking about NDC, which is not a coalition, but a political party of a person. Those of you who were talking about coalition are no longer talking about coalition. So can we be honest with ourselves once and for all and say, look, political parties exist to deliver power to people who have good character. Now, we have political party or people with good character, people with tested integrity, individuals who can deliver, who have capacity, who have intellect, who also have mission, who are mission-driven and have vision, visionaries. And you are saying no, because they did not come to you in a package that you like, they cannot win power. So we can keep giving power to those people who come in fake packages, and you keep calling on the people you said have no structure to come and help you fight them when they steal all your resources, when they kill your family members, when they detain people unjustly. You come to us to say, Mr. Sowore, why are you not fighting for this person? Why are you not fighting for this community that is under siege? Why are you not fighting for this person in prison? Why are you not helping us expose the corruption that is happening in the
Mr.
country?
Sowore,
You rely on us to do that. But when it comes to power, you said because we didn't come in the package that they taught you in government, secondary school, that is not good enough. Why can't we just make the decision once and for all to join hands together and rescue our country? Countries like Chile are doing that. They are doing that in even smaller African countries. The guy in Botswana, who I'm sure you've seen, who speaks about corruption, who speaks about transparency, did not come in any of these packages. They came as individuals with great character who can deliver their country, and the people lined up behind them. So, all political parties are equal.
So you have indicated
coalition or not.
You have indicated interest in the 2027 race. I'm sure that I've read that in other platforms. So how are you going to win as a standalone candidate, delivering 176,000 polling units, I believe, in 2027?
I'm not a standalone candidate. I am a candidate. I will be a candidate in the election when the party concludes its primary. And if
I mean, without any merger, without any coalition with any political party. Of course, we know that you are aspiring on the AAC.
We have a political party. Yes, we have a political party. Every other candidate is coming on the platform of a political party. In fact, there is no political party in Nigeria that is registered as a coalition. Even after they coalesce, they must present one logo, one identity, as if all political parties are equal. So don't let us confuse the public with this. I'm not standing alone. I'm standing with the Nigerian people for liberation. I'm standing with the Nigerian people for economic prosperity. I'm standing with the Nigerian people to say, look, whatever belongs to us should serve us and not serve a few. That's not a standalone candidate. So don't bring about a definition that does not exist. I'm standing against every other candidate presented by other political parties, or I will be standing against those ones. If the party presents me, I'll be a candidate, a better candidate, by the way, than any of the people presented along all those platforms.
So it's official, you're running, and you want to be president. So it's official now that you're aspiring for that job, the #1 job in this country. I've just had to look at your statements about the opposition summit, where you declined that invitation in Ibadan. So let me take you up on this issue of zoning now, because for the likes of Mr. Peter Obi, he has always said that, you know what, I'm going to just do one term because it's the turn of the South, the region where you also come from. Is that also the plan for you to do a single term?
No, I am not. I've never been part of any zoning conversation. The Nigerians should stop zoning the presidency of or any particular political office to any region. They should zone it to competence. They should zone it to people with character. Yes. So because it's part of this zoning that produced some of the worst characters that have run this country. You zone to religious groups, you zone to geographical groups, you zone to ethnic groups. Look at where you are. We are not doing zoning in our party doesn't have a zoning policy. The only zone we recognize are those zones of competence, character, integrity, intelligence, vision. We zone to the visionaries, not people who just come. And don't let anybody lie to you. There's nobody who gets power in Nigeria who wants to live in 4 years. They're just fooling those who might want to be fooled. When it comes to leadership in Nigeria, and that was why you raised the issue when you asked this question, that I said I wasn't going to be part of their Ibadan Jamboree. Oh, everybody came after me, especially those people who are in this other group. You know them. Oh, why would you say you can't be in that meeting? 3 days later, the meeting, their summit fell apart. It was summit of deceit. And I was the only person within the political realm. I don't see myself as belonging to the Nigerian political class, I saw it. That said, this is a terrible set of people. They met in Ibadan. These are the people that destroyed your country. And of course, all of them went up in arms against me. I said, oh, how dare you say that? Why didn't you attend the meeting? Oh, they didn't invite you and all that. 3 days later, the people who said that are now condemning the people who were at the summit and saying, they are the bad people. Yes, they are the bad people. But when I'm
wondering why you're not mentioning who these people are, Mr. Sowore. Who are these people?
One of them is my friend. He's on your show. I shot them. Aisha was the person mobilizing people for ADC. My good friend Aisha. All their group, and they were condemning me for saying that the summit in Ibadan was summit of the structure of criminality. A week later, they have started labeling the people who met in Ibadan as the people who are destroying Nigeria, except their own candidate, of course, which is the hypocrisy I don't like about them. Yes.
Yes, because you've brought Aisha into the picture, and we had on the show just a moment ago. I understand she's back with us.
I think she's still on. I see her.
Yes. So
yes.
Just maybe
and by
briefly.
The way, I support the fact that she has finally joined the race to become a senator.
What's the advice you have for her?
Since 2018.
What's the advice you have for her as an activist yourself turned politician? What's the advice you have for her?
No, I totally support her. I've always told her that good people who believe that they can do things, should get into politics. She used to say that she has no business running for office. She used to condemn those of us who are activists who run for office. She doesn't want to support anybody but her own candidate, which she's entitled to. But I'm glad finally she has come to that position and the realization. I used to feel that way too before 2016 or so. That activists don't have business in politics. But, you know, the business of politics is actually the biggest activism that has to be done to save society. So I totally support her, and I hope she wins. Even though I think that she's in the wrong party, she should have joined our party.
Oh, wow.
That's a revolutionary party.
I like that marketing.
But you know, yes.
All right,
she's in the wrong party. There's no question about that. Yes.
Well, I'm sure she will have time to respond if you were able to get her back on the show.
Yeah.
Mr. Sowore, some straight questions I would like you to respond to. Some you've answered before, maybe just look at it again, because no two elections are the same. If you are privileged to become Nigeria's president, say in 2027, what are the things that President Bola Tinubu has done that you totally disagree with, that you will literally almost immediately reversed, just like some of his pronouncement on this first day of office? I'm not giving any specifics now.
One of the things that reversed first is subsidy for petrol. You know, we must have something to give to the people that can help them sustain not just their businesses, but sustain themselves. I think that was a terrible decision, one of the most anti-people decisions that he took arrogantly on assumption of power. Of course, it is because they weren't voted into office by the people, so they can afford to discard them. I will restore subsidy, especially for gasoline, because it's central to the existence of millions and millions of Nigerians. And I know what to do about it. What has destroyed subsidy is corruption. It is not the idea itself. And you can't find any country in the world where there's no subsidy. The US went and started war in Iran. And when prices went up, the country's economy was tanking, and they had to intervene by providing subsidy, grants, and support to the general populace. So that's one thing. And I would also ensure that I provide, well, I won't say provide, but I restore the real value of the Naira. There was no basis for the Naira to have jumped from 400 Naira to 1,500. But I know the reason why. It is because they were rigging it. They were rigging it in their own interest, because the easiest source of wealth for the political and the economic class in Nigeria, these capitalist people, is, you know, flipping the Naira for dollar. So the moment they know how to do that, and when you see that the value of Naira increases, they buy. I mean, you know, when it decreases, they buy, and then they will increase it and they sell. Easy way to make money. You don't need to build any factories. You don't need to do, and so many of these things are things I know, and I will reverse immediately. And of course, there's nothing Tinubu is doing, by the way, that I will retain, because he's not doing anything, and I'm not coming in to do nothing.
Sowore, always a delight to have you on the program. It's an ongoing conversation. We are hoping that all of the primaries will come and pass and go, so then we'll be talking to candidates and put manifesto by manifesto, look at alternative ideas, and the Nigerian people will have to make up their mind what they want for themselves. But I must thank you, Sowore, the leader of the AAC.
I'll take that as a rain check. I'll take that as a rain check, that when the primaries are concluded, you will not give the people who have nothing to say more airtime than people who actually have something to present.
Well, you already you are listed. If you, of course, I'm sure you'll be running. So trust, if you come out as a candidate of a party, you are listed already. We'll do our very best. Thank you, Mr. Sowore. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much for having me.